So La Venganza del Amor is composed by several works, including a film, which is kind of the heart of the show, and it's combined by sculptures and installations. It's made in concrete, paper, and gold and aluminum. The film was shot in Colombia, in a town named Neiva, and another town in Indonesia named Palembang. And it was shot there because coincidentally, these two towns happen to be exactly at the opposite in the world. They're what we call antipodes. So the point of the film is to make a parallel in between these two places and create some experiences in both places, and then compare also what has been their history and what is like their present, like how's the life today there. And in a way prove that despite the fact that they are so far, they are extremely close. They all share the same history. They were both colonies from different countries, but they were both colonies. They both are growing economies. One chapter I work with basketball teams from every town because I like this basketball ball is reminding their connection by gravity, and also is reminding like sort of how the economy and the imagery of sports, which is very linked to the way that the economy is developing today. There's another chapter which is called The Others, where I actually go and like touch the shoulders of people. It was New Year's, like first day of January, and I was telling people Happy New Year. But you don't hear my voice. There is another voice on top talking about otherness, sameness. And I did these kind of actions before in New York. Never tried to touch the shoulders here, but maybe we can try and I can show you. There is this installation named Among Us, which is a series of sculptures, like concrete sculptures that are hanging, like suspended, and it's like perforated walls, which has sentences on it, and these sentences are all related to this idea of the other, like what I was saying before, about how we consider the other as different. Meanwhile, this idea is kind of based on nothing. It's mainly ideological and not kind of a real thing. In the space, there is a central piece, which is this work named Sweet Potato. I wanted to make a proposal of a new icon in a way to make a point about what is the kind of images we use to represent like knowledge, value, holiness. It makes me think about globalization in a larger scale, because potatoes were introduced to the world after the colonization of Europeans in America. This collage I use archive material, and which I destroy with these laser cuts, and I create layers. These words talk about that, like renegotiate with this image, and I like the fact to destroy the images and create filters out of it, because I think all this information is like lenses that you use to look at reality. All these things filter your life, and you see this life through that. So I like to represent that as that, like all these filters and everything. Like history is like a texture. The show talks a lot about life, and reality is composed by many things that you can see in the newspapers, but also by like everyone's personal experience and what's going on like in every single place. So we don't need to just, sometimes we're driven by ideologies, religions, politics, economy to follow some paths. But what I think we need to make a step back and just like try to see and be aware of the kind of filters we're following. It's not like get away from society, but on the contrary, is to behave with conscience in society.